Hello, welcome back. I hope that everybody's been doing well. I want to start by saying that I've been so blessed to have multiple people reaching out to me, wanting to introduce more plant-based foods into their diet, asking for help, asking for tips, recipes, all of that. It's just been really awesome to be able to help so many of you with just improving your health, improving your quality of life. So thank you for that. If there's any of you watching that have questions for me, feel free to reach out to me, drop a comment on here, or you can always send me a direct message on my Instagram. I'm going to put a link to that or put it on the bottom of the screen right here. It's at molly.lord. So feel free to always send me a message there and I'll get back to you right away. So today what I want to talk to you about is produce. Obviously on a plant-based diet we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I'm sure that many of you having gone through the grocery store and buying produce yourself know that sometimes it can be really expensive, especially if you're trying to eat organic. So I just have some tips for you guys. I guess not really tips, more just a list of produce options that we like that are cheap. So pretty much when I go shopping for the week, we get a lot of berries. Berries tend to be really expensive, especially organic, but we use a lot of berries, so we do that. But because I spend so much money on berries, I try to keep all of the rest of our fruits, especially the cost down. So I try to keep it to around 50 cents or less per serving, which a serving's around a cup of fruit. So I'm going to go through some stuff with you guys today. Don't mind my phone, this is where my list is so that I don't forget anything for you. So I'm going to start with fruits and then we'll do vegetables. Fruits, we do a lot of bananas. Bananas are really cheap. You can get conventional bananas around 49 cents a pound, sometimes less if they're on sale. We usually get organic because they're still only 69 cents per pound and we just prefer the organic ones. Sometimes they even go on sale for 59 cents a pound, which is great. We go through a lot of bananas because they're so cheap and they're loaded with a lot of good nutrition. A lot of the stuff is seasonal, so just kind of keep that in mind. But next I have whole cantaloupe. If you're purchasing pre-cut up fruit, you're going to pay a lot more money for that. So even though it's a little bit more work to buy like a whole cantaloupe and cut it up yourself, it's way more worth it. You can get a whole cantaloupe for around $2.50 and it typically gives you like 4 to 5 cups of fruit. So that's a great bargain as well. Now, the summertime's coming around, watermelon is really cheap. Your best bet to get it the cheapest is to buy a whole watermelon or like a quarter or a half. Don't buy the ones that are already sliced because those are going to be like $1 a pound. If you buy them whole, you can get it really cheap, like 39 cents a pound or something like that, and just get a ridiculous amount of fruit. But just make sure that you eat it, or else that really good price doesn't really save you money if you're throwing a lot of it away. We usually buy like a quarter watermelon, and at least at our store that's the same price as the whole watermelon. Next I have kiwis. Now kiwis are awesome because they're green and there are not a lot of fruits that are green. And sometimes they can be really expensive, but sometimes they go on sale for cheap, somewhere between 25 cents to 50 cents each. Tend to try to get them more on the 25 cents. We're lucky enough to have a really awesome store nearby that does really great sales on produce, so I very frequently can get them for $1. But just keep an eye out at different grocery stores in your area for when they do go on sale and just load up on them. They stay good for a while in the fridge. Also mangoes. Mangoes are so delicious. I love them, and they're so versatile too. We use them in a lot of dinners as well. I try to get mangoes when they're on sale between 50 cents to 79 cents. A lot of times their regular price are $1 or over $1, $1.39, and that depends on time of year as well. But with mangoes you want to be careful because you have a really limited window of when they're ripe. And when they do get ripe, stick them in the fridge and you might be able to extend the life for a couple more days. Pineapples. A whole pineapple is a really good bargain. Of course, like with the cantaloupe and the watermelon, there is that extra work, but it's definitely worth it. You get like 4 to 5 cups of fruit out of a pineapple, and let's be real, like a fresh, ripe pineapple is so good. Like, I just love it. I could probably eat a whole thing. Back when I was pregnant and trying to go into labor, I think I did. So pineapples frequently go on sale. Usually their normal price is like $2.99, which is still a really good price, and you can get them as low as $2 a piece, so that's a really good deal as well. Now, we're going to talk about vegetables a little bit. And something that I did want to mention before I get into the vegetables I meant to talk about at the beginning is, especially if you are on a really strict budget and you're trying to do organic as much as possible, you've probably heard of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. I'll make sure to put links to those in the description of this video. But basically the Dirty Dozen is the 12 fruits and vegetables that have the highest pesticide amounts. So those are the ones that they recommend to buy organic if you can. Like, those are the ones that it's like top priority, buy these organic. Then the Clean 15 are the ones that have the lowest pesticide levels. So those ones, it's not really that important for you to buy them organic. If you can, then do it, but if you can't, you know, that's the area basically to like cut the corners at. So especially if you're on a tight budget, make sure you take a look at those so that you know what's going on with your food, and you can make sure that you're getting the healthiest food for you. So, vegetables, carrots. You probably already know that carrots are like really cheap. We buy organic carrots because I can get a 1 pound bag for $1. So to me, like, that's a pretty good deal. You can get a conventional bag that's a pound for like 69 or 79 cents, something like that. So it's worth it to me to spend the extra 20 cents. Sweet potatoes and potatoes, those are on the Dirty Dozen list, so you want to try to buy those organic as much as possible. They're still like pretty cheap. We get a 3 pound bag for $3, so that's only $1 a pound. And of course, you know that potatoes have a pretty long shelf life as long as you keep them in a cool place. So sometimes they even go on sale. I think I saw them for like $2.29 a few weeks ago at my store, so you can stock up if you have a good spot to store them when they go on sale to make it a little bit more affordable. Frozen vegetables. We buy a lot of frozen vegetables. There's been a lot of studies about if frozen vegetables are as healthy as fresh vegetables, and a lot of studies have found that they're actually healthier because they're frozen right as soon as they're picked, instead of sitting on a truck for 3 or 4 days while they get to the store and then sitting at the store for another few days. A lot of the nutrients in the fresh produce can break down in that time. So buying frozen is actually typically better for you. So organic frozen vegetables can be a little bit pricey typically, but the awesome thing with them being frozen is you can stock up when they're on sale. So a few weeks ago at my store at Market Basket here in New England, they had 10-ounce frozen organic vegetables on sale for $1 a bag. Now they're usually like, I want to say $2 or like $1.80, something like that. So I loaded up and bought like 10 bags of frozen vegetables. For the organic ones, corn definitely. So it's listed on the Clean 15, but just personally, I would say get organic corn. That's just me though. Do what you want. So stock up on frozen vegetables because that's a really good deal. And on those same lines, conventional frozen vegetables are like stupid cheap. We get broccoli conventional, that's on the Clean 15 as well. So broccoli, you can get a 2 pound bag at regular price for $2, so $1 a pound. And that's like all the florets, it's not the stems. So I prefer to buy it that way just because it's way less work, it's already cut up, and I don't have the waste of the stems. So that's a great way to go. Really all like frozen vegetables are a really good deal. The store brands are like $1 a pound or something like that. So look into that. That's a great way to save, especially if you don't usually use frozen vegetables. check it out. You might like it. Similarly, canned vegetables. People have different takes on canned vegetables, but they are really cheap. I've seen them on sale for like 50 cents a can, and I think they're equivalent to a pound. So 50 cents is a really good deal. Just make sure that you're trying to get the no salt added varieties, because there can be a lot of extra sodium hiding in those. But those are a really good option. We usually keep a few cans of vegetables on hand because like the green beans and the carrots tend to be nice and soft, which was great, especially when Levi was smaller and had a hard time chewing. I like fresh green beans or frozen green beans because they have a little bit more crunch, but the canned green beans were really, really great for him, and they're convenient because they're just ready to go. You don't really have to cook them. And because they're canned, you can stock up on those too. So those are a really great option when you see them on sale. Grab a bunch, stock up. Try not to use that as all of your vegetables, but it's nice to have them on hand and keep that budget in line. Okay, a couple more things. Try to get things seasonally. Like right now in the summertime, zucchini and summer squash are really cheap. I just got 3 like decent sized zucchinis for like $1.40. They were 99 cents a pound, which is really good. So that stuff you can get for really cheap, even at like farmers markets and farm stands. So check those. Similarly, corn on the cob, which again, use your own discretion whether you want to try to find non-GMO or organic corn on the cob. That's what we try to do. But do what you want. If you get conventional corn on the cob, that's really cheap in the summer too, like 20 cents an ear. So that's also a really good deal. And lastly, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the unit prices when you're buying things in bulk. Like sometimes, well, very often, you can get like a bag of red peppers for cheaper per pound than individual peppers. So if it's something that you're going to use, then look to see if the bigger package has a better price per pound. Something that I just noticed this past week, and I can't believe that I didn't notice it before, has to do with mixed greens. So I'm sure you've all seen like the little plastic containers of mixed greens, like spring mix, or they have baby spinach, or all different ones. So we get those a lot because I make salads, Derek has salads for lunch, we put mixed greens in smoothies, like we use it in cooking. We go through a ton of it in a week. And to get the 5-ounce typical little box, it's like $3, and that's for organic mixed greens because greens are on the Dirty Dozen. I want to try to get those organic. And buying those organic is not that much more than buying them conventional. Just a little tip. Anyways, 5-ounce package of organic mixed greens is usually $3. So if you do out the math, it comes out to like $10 a pound. Well, I just noticed that they have a 16-ounce big thing of mixed greens. 16 ounces equals 1 pound, for those of you that maybe didn't quite figure that out. Sometimes I can be a little slow with numbers too. So 16 ounce, 1 pound, and it costs $5. So for $2 more, I'm getting 3 times as much. So I now buy 1 giant thing of spring mix, 1 giant thing of our power greens, that's the one Derek likes. So it's saving us money because we fly through it. But again, if you don't use a lot of lettuce, then it's going to be cheaper for you to get the smaller one, because if you're throwing out more than half of the package, you're throwing that money away anyway. So be cautious of that, but also just mindful of how much you're paying per pound, per ounce, however you want to translate it, because you can definitely save a lot of money if you are paying attention. So I hope that this has helped you guys out. I would love to hear if you have any produce items, maybe in your area of the country or the world. Different things are cheaper. Like here we're in New England, so we have apples in the fall are cheap, and things are different seasonally in different areas of the country and the world. So I'd love to hear what's cheap for you right now in the summer, or what your favorite ways to save money on produce are. So drop that in the comments, and make sure that you follow us on Instagram. I'm at molly.lord. I post a lot of pictures almost daily of plant-based foods, and mostly food, all different stuff. Follow me there. You can also follow Derek at, I can't remember what his Instagram is right now, but I'll put it here at the bottom of the screen before I post this video. So follow him as well. And we look forward to making some more videos for you guys and hearing from you. So thank you for watching. Bye.